Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our movie club. Today we will speak about the old movie. It's Enemy Mine. And let's stop on the title, Teacher Lee. Why it's mine? Why it's not my enemy? Why it's not enemy of mine?
This is kind of an affectionate term in a way. You might say, like, wife of mine, when you're talking to your wife. Oh, wife of mine. It's just kind of a poetic way to say you're my wife.
Okay.
My, wife of mine. So here he's saying enemy mine because even though they're enemies, they're going to become affectionate enemies, if you will. Oh, enemy of mine.
Yeah. So it's kind of a pun. Am I correct?
Kind of an oxymoron.
Oxymoron. Okay.
My good old enemy.
Okay, and I noticed that you often correct me in our chat when I write like my friend or something. You always correct me to friend of mine. It's more correct. Yep.
No, not in that case. It depends on what case we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually we say my. My is more common.
Okay. Okay, so title is clear now. So we have an enemy and someone else. Let's start from the story. Sergey, could you start, please?
Okay, I hear me.
Yep.
First of all, I want to talk that Enemy Mine is a cult movie in my childhood and my younghood, and I don't know why Ivan didn't watch this movie. To be honest, I watched this movie 5 or 6 times. I don't know.
Okay.
And
let me add more context. Yesterday we discussed that movie with Sergey. We have met, and I told him that I never watched it before. I have never watched it, and Sergey was surprised because he watched it like 6 times, and, and it's very popular in Russia. In all Russia, we like it like some Hollywood movies, especially kind movies, about friendship, about love, about all these things.
About interplanets, wars, about aliens. It's a very interesting movie for Soviet Union children because Soviet Union children didn't watch the similar movie. It's an abnormal movie for us.
Yeah, so stellar like sagas. Yep, they are very popular because we were proud about our space program. There are a lot of studies about that. Yes, and so we like it like science fiction in general, I would say.
I'm serious. In my childhood, we had 2 cult movies, Enemy Mine and Korean movies Hongeldon. It's a brilliant movies of my childhood, and I advise you to see the Hongeldon.
Okay. But Sergey, please check your mic. Something is changed with your microphone, So let's ask someone else, and then we will return to you. So, Gerard, after this short, education story about Russia, as always, can we please start with?
Okay. Okay, the protagonist of the story is the actor Dennis Quaid. I think this movie is in 1985. I watched this movie before. It happens at the end of the 21st century. It's quite optimistic about the development of space travel. So in Earth, we are able to travel to other solar systems. It represents that mankind is exploring the outer space, and they find another race called Dracs that are they have the shape of a human. They are humanoids, but with a reptile face look. They look like reptiles.
But can we call them humanoids? They look like have a different anatomy.
Humanoids because they have 2 legs, two arms, a head with the eye, quite similar compared with other animals, other beings.
But I think it's because of limitation of technology in that time. Teacher Lee, what do you think?
Yeah, humanoid just means it has our general body shape, a head, arms, and 2 legs. That's what humanoid means. Yeah, back then they probably did it so they could use a human as the actor versus a big blob like Jabba the Hutt or something. So it was probably a budget consideration.
And you know what? At this time there was a TV series named V. Remember? And the aliens were similar. Like reptiles.
Okay. So what do we know? We know that it's a cosmic saga. There are developed humankind, another race, and they have a war. Yep, a conflict.
A war, yes.
Why? What?
Because there is a conflict between interests. So it's like a clash between humans and Dracs. But I think it's not. I wouldn't say the Dracs are guilty or the humans are guilty, but it's the clash because they have the same interests. So usual, the same happens in Earth, countries against countries.
Yeah, but what's they like sharing? What is their spice? If you speak of Duna, trilogy.
What do you mean?
I mean, what is the common resource? What they struggle for? Planets or oil or what?
I don't know. Maybe planets. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe planets.
Yeah, because for me it's not clear what is the war about. Yep.
Yes, it's not something specific.
Okay.
It's not clear what's the reason of that. There is a space base in another system, solar system. The Earth ships fought against Drac ships.
Mm-hmm.
There was a planet, and the protagonist was pursuing another Drac ship, and almost destroyed the Drac ship, and a capsule was ejected from the Drac ship, and also then the enemy ship stamped into his own ship, and he fall down to this planet, a very weird planet, which casually had the same atmosphere as Earth, without almost any plants at all. So hard to understand that.
What's the word for this? Habitable, or how we call the planet when you can survive? Habitable. So it's by a good luck, it's a habitable planet. Yep, for Dracs and for humans. Yep.
What a coincidence! What's the coincidence? What are the odds? And without no plants, we don't see those plants that produce oxygen. And
what is the okay? Let's ask Jorgen about this. Jorgen, what's the source of the energy for this planet? Yeah, what they eat, how they manage to survive.
I don't know.
I think it's a small turtles. Gerard, am I right?
Yes.
Or something else. Maybe I missed something. I have seen only this small, ugly tortoise. Something. And another creature which live on the planet. It's a kind of a snake, I would say. Yep. A worm. Yep. A worm, almost like in Dunas. Okay, Jorgen, would you like to continue about the story?
I misunderstood what you're asking.
I asking about.
I think you meant energy supplies, but you mean food, or
Yeah, food is the energy for our bodies, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So would you like to continue the story? So we have a planet, we have one Drac, one human. What is happening?
No, not now.
Okay. Sergey, could you?
Yes, you hear me now?
Yes, it's better, much better.
Yes. If we have one human and one Drac in the planet, in the result, we will have only one friendship. It's my opinion. And
Or one enemy.
Yeah.
Okay, let me, to make a counter example. In modern history, we had some isles, Japan Isles, with Japan army on that and Americans, and sometimes it's one soldier and one soldier, but they did not become friends.
Okay.
So I just mean that it does not look so mandatory.
Okay. After meeting with drugs, they try to leave. First of all, Dennis Quaid wants to kill drugs, but before killing, he lost his gun, and after that, they have the rain, and suddenly drug to see this Dennis Quaid and this makers new fight, and
Captured him.
after that they have some deals, and they started to try to understand each other, and after that they have the meteorite rain, and they try to rescue together, and now we see this rules of friendship between drugs and human. After that, Dennis Quaid tried to build this some house with maybe stones. I don't know what is it, and
I would call it shelter, probably. Yep. Shelter.
Okay, and we destroyed suddenly, and after that they are finding the food, this water, this covers from meteorite and rain, and they trying to communicated each other via drugs language and human language, and the Danish Quaid trying to understand this very strangely language. I can't. Yeah. Yeah. It's a very interesting moment for me, because it's very interesting sound for human.
Yeah, but
And
I was watching the movie with my boy, and boy said that the aliens speak Arabics, and after I think, wow, the boy is correct. There are many things about culture. This Quran thing, this
yeah.
ancestor things. It's obviously from this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's stop for a bit. So what do we know? So the planet is inhabitant, but it's hostile, right? It's not easy to live there. So any help, is very important, even from your enemy. And probably I think this hardship, it's a like how to say it? It's a reason of the friendship. Yep, it's the reason. And after they started to communicate, and where is communication, it's easy to have a friendship. But there is another, idea. I have an idea. So when I ask it, what is the reason of the war? I mean that the fact that is unclear, it's helpful for friendship. Just imagine that Drac will, eat humans. It will be another story. Yep. So, and since we don't know why they have a war, it's more easier. There is no conflict between Drac, like particular Drac and particular humans. There is no conflict. It's conflict somewhere, on the top, somewhere outside. We don't have it. Okay, Gerard, would you like to continue?
Okay.
We stop it at the moment when they started to teach us each other culture, and friendship is done, I would say.
The character of Dennis Quaid, I think his name is Willis, found there were humans named the scavengers who used drugs to work, to do hard work. He didn't want to tell his Drac friend because he would be upset.
Oh, let me stop you for a moment. I think we missed a moment. It's not the same Drac already, right?
What do you mean?
We started with one Drac and we finished with another one.
Okay.
Yeah, because there was a child.
Yeah, but the Drac, the friend, he was a hermaphrodite, so he was male and female at the same time, and he was pregnant. She was pregnant, but the thing is, in labor, he died in labor because we don't know if there was a problem, but the movie didn't say what was the problem. And then Quaid Willis took care of the child.
Yep, and started to teach him and become an uncle. Yep,
an uncle.
Yeah. So it's kind of another story for me because if you are adult man or adult Drac and you have friendship, it's kind of one relationship. But if you are a child and from the very your childhood you have a like an uncle, it's another relationship. It's more tight, I would say. Yep. So let's speak about these scavengers. What they do? They obviously mine something. But what is this? Jorgen, do you understand this? This moment?
The scavengers. Who were they? I forgot.
They were a human who used drugs for mining.
Okay.
Yep.
What about them?
Yeah, about this story.
They are cruel.
Yep.
You only see it. They have a plant, large. I don't know what they are doing.
Well,
exactly.
they mine something, some resources. I don't understand what kind of resources, but it looks like they mining something. They like extracting some materials from the earth. Yep. But do it in a very, very not automated way, I would say, using the power of these slaves. Yep. Okay. It looks strange. Yep. Sergey, would you add something?
Yes, it looks strange for me because I work for metallurgical industry, which has a lot of automatical system, and in 20th centuries, in 21st centuries, but it's Star Wars, and seriously, you don't have the special machines for developing iron ore. It's in my childhood I didn't have this the similar questions. Now I have. What's the stupid way for this man? Yes, and in my opinion, they developed the iron ore because it's look like iron ore in our city, and they use the slavers, they drugs. They have the special device from 19th century. It's wires for slavers. I don't know how to speak English.
Candles. Usually, how we call these things? Locks for slaves.
Shackles.
Shackles.
No shackles. It's wires.
A whip.
Whip.
Wait.
Okay.
Yeah. Whips. Yeah, kind of primitive, isn't it?
Yeah, and we know some Pepsi Cola
cans.
type cans, and the Dennis Quaid were surprised. Oh, Pepsi Cola! It's a humans, and after that he saw the human who beat these drugs, and they took this Zames, and they beat Zames, and Dennis Quaid is finding is looking for the Zames, and after that the bad guys, I don't know speak English, saw this Dennis Quaid, and he beat him, and he kill him. It's my opinion because
Yeah.
it's
Almost killed. Let's say it's hard.
almost
Hard,
yeah.
bad. Yep. Am I right? Actually,
Yeah.
that hard is an irregular verb. Yep. Hard. Yep. Or hearted. Is it a regular verb?
Oh, hurt.
Hurt. Yep.
Hurt. Yeah, hurt.
So they hurt them badly, and he looked like a dead body. Yep. And some kind of, I don't know what's the name, rescue operations, something. It's strange if you think about it. So there is a special, plane who took a dead body to the station to throw it away. Yep. Looks strange, no? During the process, it's a special, ritual. Yep. When they read, some religious things or something, they started to make the ritual and found that he does not have what's the name for this metal, like, actually, will help me, like identification plates.
You mean dog tags?
Yeah, they have some kind of. It's not locus. How? I don't know.
Military, we call it dog tags.
Dog tags. Wow, interesting.
Usually 2. One they leave on your body for identification. The other one they take off and use that to count dead people and notify relatives who died.
Oh. Do you keep yours, Teacher Lee?
No, I didn't have dog tags in the Navy.
Oh, okay.
Our bodies aren't lying around on the ground where you can take one.
Okay, so this clerks, they found that he doesn't have this dog tag, but he has a strange dog tag taken from the Drac. Yep, from our Drac. So they started to investigate it and found that he is alive. They cured him, and he returned to the base, to the scavenger base, to save everyone.
But
so, yep, Jared.
At first, they didn't realize he was alive. Well, that's quite hard to believe. Such a technology. The first thing is check the health of the person, whether he's, when they were about to throw him away to the space, like a space is a graveyard. Yeah. They realized that he was alive.
yeah, kind of
contradiction.
Yeah, thoughtful-less. Can I say so? Kind of frivolous. Thoughtful-less. I'm trying to invent an adjective. It's mean that you did not think hard about this. Yep, you make it solution very easily.
Cavalier means kind of not very deep, not very serious, not very concerned.
Okay. Yeah. It would work, I think.
He looks dead. Shoot him out in space.
Okay. If he was not, he will be. Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. The last scene, the rebellion, uprising, if you can say so. Jürgen, would you like?
What do you ask?
Yeah, when the our soldier returned to the base of scavenger and started uprising, starting to save the child. Would you like?
So save the kid.
Yep.
In the end.
Yep.
Okay. I don't remember so much, but. He sneak into the factory. There are 2 men playing cards, drinking, just in front of the entrance, and he knocked them down. And what happens next?
Sergey, could you continue? Yeah, last scene, this, this save operation.
Save operation, it's strangely again for me. This Dennis Quaid, when he started from the planet station, broken all rules of the army, and the guns to the spatial
Yeah,
doors.
destroy the gate.
Yeah, it's not good for army.
For your career. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, from my yeah. After that, he and his friends returned to this planet, and he killed all scavengers, and the head of scavengers have been put in the spatial liquid, in the hot liquid. It's a very good moment, like in Terminator 2. And and after that, the Dennis Quaid saved Zamas, and he had a lot of some good conversation. After that, I don't know what's happened, but Dennis Quaid and Zamas went to the planet of Drax, and the Drax meet Dennis Quaid very friendly. Oh yes, okay, so you're human, are alien, but it's not problem because you are with Zames. And when Dennis Quaid told about the story of Zames and Drac and
ancestors. Yep. The history.
yeah, and the history, and Dennis Quaid and Zames told about, and Dennis Quaid, my relatives. Okay, it's a starship.
So he's officially a Drac now. He's accepted, yep, to the society. Okay, it's a good gesture, I would say. Okay, a few, questions, English-related questions. So, what? Speaking of uprising, unrest, and rebellion, when we use what? How they differ? Unrest.
Unrest is the smallest. That's just unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Rebellion and uprising are violent.
Okay, and there is a special one for ships, for pirates, usually.
Yeah, for a ship, we call it mutiny.
Mutiny, okay. So there is no special one for mines, right? For factory.
No, just uprising or rebellion. Yeah.
Okay, and if we speak about, old times, like a Rome Empire, like, gladiators, what will we use for, a rebellion of gladiators?
I would call it a rebellion or an uprising.
Okay.
Those are general terms.
Okay. So for we can use it for slaves, for for this. Okay.
Anything, yeah.
Okay.
Uprising, yeah.
Okay. Hello, Vasans. We are happy that you managed to join us, and we just finished the story. Just now we just at the end point. So it's a good time for questions if you have some, and I know you have.
I haven't watched the movie, but so I will ask a common question. So where does this story place? Is it in Earth or somewhere else?
On the yours, or you asking about this on the place? Yep. About the place. And we lost him. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Hello again. Yeah. So it's happening somewhere in the outer space. Yep. Somewhere on some planet. We don't know even it's not a solar system, right? Because we don't have such a planet solar system.
Well, not our solar system, but some other solar system. Yeah.
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 Okay, so we cannot say. Okay, let's speak about another general question about moral. What can we learn from this movie? What it brings to us? Jorgen, what do you think?
Sometimes you are depend about your enemy. You have to communicate with your enemy sometimes.
I would say that circumstances, define your behavior sometimes. You have to adapt. You have to be, what's the word for this? Be flexible, maybe. I don't know. Sergey, do you have something else about moral?
For me, it's a moral. It's maybe as a path. This path is the politician started to make aware, but the usually human and the alien don't want to fight each other, and we saw this confirmation in this movie, because alien, Drac, and the human started to have friendship. It's no problem, but we know about differently between us, especially the hermaphroditism. It's just very strange for him, but it's no problem. And we have some jokes, some relationships with aliens. If we know more, if we have more information about alien, maybe we don't scare them.
Yep. So you're saying that knowledge and knowledge, they procreate humanity, feelings, something. It's simple to understand each other. Yep. Yeah, and I just recalled a history lesson, from World War One. When it was in Europe, people, private soldiers, they have very few motivation to fight with each other, because it was a political conflict, not a conflict of persons. So on the fields, it was a special term for this. I don't know English term for this, but in Russian it's like a brothering or something. So people just refusing to shoot each other. They just had a dinner together. And it happened many times. So there was a special people, I don't know how to call them, snipers, who shoot to both directions to prevent this, to generate a hate between soldiers. And it seems for me the same story. If you the human in the beginning, he honestly hated Drac. Yep, it's my enemy. But then what we have to divide between us? Nothing. We can just communicate and we can be friends. Yep, and so on. Jart, do you have something to add?
One thing that I see in different sci-fi movies, when there is a clash between two races, they are almost equal, almost the same technological development, and only a slight difference would be very crucial, Imagine our, plane ships against the Second World War plane ship, The difference is too high. So one of them would be dominate quickly the other. It could be a coincidence that both races were equally developed technologically.
Yep, right. Vasant, would you like to add?
Yes, I want to clarify something. What about the relationship between human and the alien? As far as I understand, and I understood from the poster behind Teacher Lee's, I think it has to be something like a friendship. So what about the basic relationship between the two main characters?
Teacher Lee, could you answer, please?
Say that again now. You're talking about, at the world level, they're enemies. The governments are enemies, but the individual people, like me and Yvonne, we're not really, enemies per se. We're just told what to do by other people. So the hate or whatever is more on a high level and not really down at the low level, other than propaganda.
Yeah, I would add that it's more about reasoning, So politicians and military generals, they have own reasoning. They have causes, to have this war, to have this, I don't know, money, funding, something else. But what is my motivation to go and kill someone? No, please let me avoid this. So I think it's what happened in this movie. So sometimes propaganda work. These drugs, they are so terrible. They eat humans' baby every morning. Yeah, so let's go and kill them. But it's not the case in the movie.
Well, it was at the beginning. At the beginning, their instincts were kill the other guy.
Yeah.
That was their immediate instinct. We're at war. I got to kill him. But wait a minute. There's only me and him, and this is a big planet, and it's dangerous. I might need him to help me if I get hurt. Maybe he knows how to find food and I don't. So they started thinking maybe together they could survive, but alone they would both die.
Yep. And we have seen these examples, exactly when the worm attacked them, so they needed each other. They would not survive without each other. Yeah. So what about humor in this movie? Do you like it? Did you like it or not? There are some Mickey Mouse jokes and all these things. Yeah. Almost impossible in modern society, I would say, to joke about religion. Jar, can you please explain us what is Mickey Mouse? How it's related to the story?
Yeah, I think Dennis Quaid deceived his Drac friend. It was he said Mickey Mouse was God, but there was a word of this wisdom that it was said of Mickey Mouse said in some movie, cartoon movie, and the Drac thought that he was talking about his religion.
Yeah.
But then Willis didn't care about Drac making fun of Mickey Mouse because, besides Willis wasn't that religious as Drac. The Drac was quite religious, but Willis didn't care much about religion.
Yeah. You said ugly things about our Muhammad Mickey Mouse. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah, there are some humor in the movie, and I like it the moment when they started to learn languages each other. Yeah, so they said, "It's my head, it's your ugly head." It's my yeah. It was funny. Okay. Yes.
Drac's pregnancy was a humor moment, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
As well. Yeah. So human said, what he said? Like, I'm not his father. Am I?
So how can you get pregnant? It's only you and me. Yeah, strange. So we think he's a man, but then he says, I'm pregnant. So that's kind of a funny moment. And then the human kind of makes fun of him a little bit or thinks it's a funny situation, but he ends up dying from it.
I would say that modern feminists, they would find a lot in this movie. Why we just assume the gender of the Drac? Yeah, why we just assume that?
That's right. See, he's not male, he's not female. See, there's other genders. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's funny. But as Sergey mentioned, it's not clear. Should, Drac, father Drac, or mother Drac die in the process or not? It's like, we don't know. Yeah. Probably they change generation like this or something.
Well, I think in the movie, they had to kill him or let him die because the whole thing of the movie is at the end. The human honors his enemy by taking his enemy's kid to the enemy's world to help the enemy's kid be accepted by his own people. So that's kind of a respect moral, and they had to let the alien die for that to happen.
Okay.
So I think respect is the key theme through this whole movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. No more questions? We can go.
Yeah, another thing.
Okay.
I think we can presume that at the end, mankind and Drax made peace. I think we can presume that. Maybe that's the reason of the whole history.
And it may be, I'm not sure, but it may be that the two races couldn't even communicate. And when the human learned the Drac language,
And the culture.
he may have been the first ambassador, so they could start talking to each other. Why are we fighting? Well, we need this. Well, we don't need that. We need this. Okay, we can work together. So he might have been actually the first harbinger of peace, if you will, because he's the only human that knew the enemy's language. I don't know.
Yeah. Another thing I'm thinking about what Sergey said about this, mining. So if they mining metal, if they are mining iron, it looks like overcomplicated. Iron is very common in the universe. Why do you need special planet for that? Why you cannot do this, on the Earth?
It could be a rare metal like spice on Dune.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we have some slides. Let's go to them. I will share the screen. Okay. Remind. Present. Okay, I hope you can see it. Okay, let's No, something incorrect. Okay, it's like this. Okay, let's start from this one. Vasant, please, can you start?
Yes, I can see a spaceship kind of architecture, and yeah, that's all I can see on my mobile screen now. Yeah.
I understand you have a small screen, so let me try to help. So yeah, we have some spacecraft probably and some dead body, I would say, in a what we call it, astronaut suit, how we call it,
spacesuit.
Spacesuit, yep, and spacesuit. It looks like a human to me, but I could be mistaken. And
yeah, human. Yeah.
Human, yep, and. This what is interesting in this picture to me, that these stars, they doesn't look like what I see from my yours from my place. Yeah, that it's somewhere in another galactic, I would say. And debris, is it a good word for this, Teacher Lee? It's some trash.
Yeah, debris is after something's destroyed, the small pieces.
Okay, so it's not very small there, but okay,
big debris.
Yeah, relatively small, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay, another one, Gerard, please.
This is the base of the human base of the spaceships. I think this base is orbiting the planet. And here the spaceship, the war spaceships are ready to go out if they need to.
Yeah, how we call it, dock, or like we have a big station. Inside that we have a small dock or something for military airplanes.
Usually the big room for airplanes, the big building is called a hangar.
Hangar.
Okay. So I would call this a hangar. In space, we call it a docking bay. That's where the ships dock or park. Okay. So this is a hangar or a docking bay.
Okay, and I put this picture there to ask Teacher Lee. Teacher Lee, do you understand from this picture that, humankind, it's now led by Russian design? Can you see it? It's all gray.
Just plain, gray. Yeah, just gray. Plain military gray, we call it. Yeah, battleship gray.
Yeah, gray and ugly. So what's the reason to have like everything in one color? And I was about to ask you about these suits. Some of them I like pink, I would say. Some of them black. I would say that black probably pilots, gray probably some technicians, but pink, please. Have you any guesses?
No, just work uniforms so they can get dirty.
They are white, but the light, the red light, make them look pink. I think.
Okay. So they are white, actually. Okay.
Yes, like the one that Willis wears at the end of the movie.
Okay. You just broke the mystery, because never in my life I saw like pink uniform, in military organization. It would be something that amuse me.
They're probably mechanics. They're probably civilian mechanics.
Okay. So how would you describe this sailing?
Just looks like fluorescent lights.
Yeah.
Circular.
Yeah, but do we have something about this? This general design when it's made like like a Eiffel Tower, from this like scaffolding or something. Nope.
Yeah, usually if you got a bunch of metal that's crossing at different angles, we call that a framework or a lattice.
Okay, framework. Okay, lattice. Nice one. Yeah. Okay, let's go next one. Jorgen, can you describe this one?
Okay. It's his name I forgot, but
Willis.
He buried his friend.
Yeah, from the ship. Yep, he's
and put his helmet above.
Yeah. And look at these stones, it probably was not a big job to make the dig in these stones. To make a grave. They look huge. Okay, helmet is broken, I would say. The space suit is ripped. Can we say so? Ripped, yep. On the sleeve, yep. Sleeve is kind of ripped, so what else? Nothing more. Smash it, okay. Sergey, please.
It's very beautiful. We saw a lake with some mountains, and I think that's the lake from the meteorite place. There are Drac and Dennis Quaid meet with this lake, and we have the maybe like a star, like a sun, and
not much, yep. And what is green, I would say, yep. And some mountains or hills and cliff on the left, yep. So in general, I call this picture like oasis. Is it a word usually? Oasis? Do you use this?
Oasis?
Oasis, yeah. Oasis.
Oasis, Yeah, a little bit of water among nothing else.
Yeah. So the planet in general is hostile, so they are very lucky to to land in exactly this thing. Yeah. And how we call this? This lake. It looks for me like a track, or how to say it, sled from meteorite. Oh,
right. We call it a crater.
Crater. Okay.
A hole created by a meteor impact.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Okay. Masans, can you see this one?
Yes. The guy is holding a gun and aiming at someone. I think it's an alien or something.
Drac.
Okay, a Drac, and he's in a uniform. Is that a uniform?
Yep.
An army uniform. Okay, and the landscape looks like rocky, bumpy surface. Yeah, that's all I can see.
Yep. Gerard, sorry, I missed your message in the chat.
Yeah, another thing that doesn't add up is the Drac ship was destroyed at the outer atmosphere. and the capsule was ejected at this moment, and they fall almost at the same place. What are the odds? Because if this had happened close to the Earth, it could be understandable, but it was very far.
I understand what you are talking about. Yeah. So just imagine that it will happen, on the Earth. Yeah. So one could be in Africa, another one in Australia.
Yes.
Easily. Yeah. But we did not. We will not have a story, in this case. So don't be that strict. Yeah. And I would say that I would add that this capsule looks pretty fancy for Drac. So they are advanced, not like some green color. Yeah. Better than humans military. Okay. Okay, Gerard, can you describe this one?
Here we can see Willis was trying to get this food from the capsule of the alien, and there was electrical charge. I don't understand why he didn't die from this.
Drac saved him. He stuck him by some wooden stick or something. Yeah. So how we call this security system? Alarm system? Yep. Or security?
Security system, burglar system, alarm system. Here I'd call it a security system.
Okay. Usually, did you have a security system on your submarine?
No, we just had one man on top of the ship with an empty pistol.
Well, what I mean that it's really strange, to have a security system for military techniques. I never heard of this. Yep.
I think this was actually a trap. I think he deliberately put the food there and he set up some kind of a booby trap. I don't think this is normal. It was a trap that the Drac set to capture the alien.
Okay. So it's a tactic, let's call.
Right. Yeah.
Jorgen, please.
Yeah, I think he put his gun on the bulkhead. And it was attached to the electric circuit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a trap, yep. Okay, next one. Jorgen, would you describe it?
This is the tendril from the huge and ugly monster. And, it can sense smell and movement.
I think you're wrong.
Yeah, it's a kind of another different scene. It's this human, he's asking for food, and Drac provided some food for him.
A worm.
A worm, yeah, or something. I don't know.
Looks
okay.
like a pickle.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's what do you call?
Yeah, like worm or something. Yeah.
Slug.
Yeah,
We'd probably call it a slug.
Slug. Okay. Yeah.
Like a snail outside the shell.
At first, he didn't want to eat it, but then he take a bit.
Yeah, and then he showed his character, right? When Drac said, just spit it, yeah, show him, spit it. No, I will eat it. Just to show you, my character, yeah. Okay. I would say that actor plays their role very good. I can believe it. I can trust it, yeah.
And I think that was also key too, because that was a moment of kindness between two enemies. So that was a key element in the movie, I think. Here we can help each other and still be enemies. We can show respect, Yep.
Okay, Sergey, please.
Okay, there are cosmic types of food, and this like an eggs.
Yeah.
Green eggs. The eggs looks like better than food in previous picture.
Yeah. A bit. Yep.
Yeah. And we see the very modern cosmic ship of Drac, but suddenly we see the small pipes of glass, maybe with the oil. It's very space again.
Yeah. Let's call it a control panel or control board. How to call it? Yep.
No, it's not control board. No, it's a. I
Yeah.
think
It's an
this is
oven.
a oil system for this ship.
Yeah, and it's not electric system; it's hydraulic system. It's
Yeah.
conduit and liquids and something else. Yeah,
Looks like bronze and copper, cheap, weak metals.
yeah,
Steampunk.
It's pretty strange to see them. Yeah. Okay, Vasants, could you please take this one?
Yes, I think he is an alien who's looking at the man with an army suit. How to say that? Carrying something. He is carrying some
Luggage.
weight on his back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can see that alien, the Drac has a weapon, right? Some kind of rifle or something. Probably hydraulic as well. And he's oppressing human now. He's making him work. Yep, for both of them. Yep. And what do you think? Is it a trees or stones or something? What do you think?
I think the stones, I think.
Yeah, and we can see after in the movie we can see some hurricanes and they just yep.
It is not. It was not stones because Dennis Quaid built this covers for them from these stones. Maybe this is polyps or corals. I don't know. It's maybe what is natural
Okay. So
because
like
it not weight.
yeah. So
Okay.
it's not so heavy.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You can move it. Yep. It's another ironic or sarcastic moment in the movie when they destroy the shelter. Yep. Let me describe it. So human try to build a shelter because they have a problem. They have a meteorites rains. Yep. And they hurts. And I just recall that teacher Lee taught us once about difference between meteorite. Yep. I forgot meteorite, and something else.
Yeah, in space we call them meteoroids,
Meteoroids.
and in the air we call them meteors, and then when they hit the ground we call them meteorites.
Okay, so at this moment they are meteorites. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So meteorites, bother them a lot. So they try to make a shelter and build that from these corals or something. I don't know, some trees, but it was too shabby, I would say, and got destroyed very easily. So they found that they have another special material, these shells of tortoise, and built another one. Okay, Gerard, can you do this one?
So there is a snowstorm. I don't remember what they were doing at this time.
Yeah, so it's a big worm came to their shelter and they have to like run out. Yeah.
To flee from. Okay, yes.
Yeah, and that it's just a scene, that teach us how hostile is the planet. This winter is terrible. Yep, they are actually dying. I don't know what they eat during the winter, what they drink. Okay, I don't know. Just to show us how bad it is. Okay, so Drac, please do another one.
Okay, here we can see the Drac. He is in labor. He is with Willie. I think he foresees that he's about to die. He wants to revive the labor, and he's asking Willis to take care of the child.
Yeah. And he told all these names about ancestor. Yep. How many levels? 160.
Too many for me.
Well, 160, I think now yours, it will be like for Greeks, yep, for ancient Greeks.
Yeah.
Or even before. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, next one. Jorgen, do you like this baby?
What can you say?
Say no.
No.
No, thank you.
But I think babies all like that.
What can you say? It's slimy or it's liquid, yeah.
Slimy, yep. What else? Ugly.
Yeah.
But still humanoid, right? We can see skin is kind of strange, but still humanoid. 2 eyes, mouth, nose, hands. So you can be mistaken, I think.
No reptile skin.
On the belly, we can see some, how we call them.
Scales. Okay.
Scales, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it was a small baby, but it became to be a big Drac, yep?
Okay.
Yeah, Sergey, what's happening here?
Yes, there is a spaceship of slavers. It's bad guys.
Scavengers.
Bad guys.
Yeah.
Scavengers. Yeah. Dennis Quaid, his friend, he thinks maybe it is good guys, and they went for this ship, and they saw the scavengers, and it's a very big. It's a very big starships without guns, and we understood that there is a building ships, maybe trade ships, not one.
But
Not
it looks like like a factory for me, like a moving factory.
Yeah.
So we just I don't know. It's just like move from one side to another side, and you don't have to rebuild it. Yep, you start to work immediately. Yeah. How?
Yeah.
Yep. Please.
Yeah, and Dennis Quaid looks like hero from Star Wars with this
clothes. Yep.
yeah,
Rope, probably.
rope, and with the belt, with the white belt, and the bear, and the very long hair.
Yeah, Robinson Crusoe. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how they managed to make this clothes, from tortoise? Yeah, so there is no animals.
Yeah.
No animals, no vegetables, just tortoise. Okay, how would you describe this ship, this factory more? So it has 2 props, can I say so? Or 4 props? And what?
Yeah, it's hard to describe. I guess. Yeah, two landing platforms or landing legs.
Okay, and the building in the center, yep?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a few more. Okay, Vasants, would you like? It's what's the name for this? Corpses. Yep.
Corpses.
Okay.
Yep.
It looks like the architecture of the scanning portion where we send human body inside a hole to scan their body. It looks like that. Is that a conveyor belt? I hope so. And there are some monitors.
Yeah, please continue.
Yeah, and there is I don't know what is the left side.
Yeah, me neither. It's something strange. Some black balloons. I don't know what is this. Maybe it's some packs with I don't know what with I don't know some sleeping bags or something.
I know the body bags are white, so they're not body bags. They look like uniforms folded up.
No,
But-
they are, wreaths with flowers when someone is dead.
Okay.
Wreath. How do you pronounce that?
Wreath. Yeah.
Wreath.
Okay.
Wreath. Yeah.
Okay, so those are two clerks. They how we call them? The building where we burn people usually.
We can call it incinerator,
Incinerator. Wow.
or we call it cremation. Burning of a human we call cremation. So maybe a cremation facility.
Okay. So these guys are lazy, so they don't do cremation. They just throw away into space. Yep. Okay, and they found that one of them is doesn't have this dog tag, and we discussed this story. Yep, they found that he's alive. Suddenly, he attacked them. He attacked them. Yeah, Jorgen, what do you think about these medical devices?
It's advanced.
Correct. Yep. It's advanced even for nowadays. Yep. So they managed to cure him. Yep, he's a good guy now. Yeah. Can we find some details? So probably that are lasers or something. Yep. Manipulators. What else? Cranes. I don't know.
Robot arms.
Robot arms. Yep. How we call this? Can we say coach? What the place when he lay down? It's a bed? No, not a bed.
Doesn't really look like a bed. I don't know what we'd call it.
Yeah.
A bed, I guess. I mean, I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah. How you call this? This device when you lie on what you lie on when you go to psychotherapist.
A stretcher.
Stretcher.
Yeah.
When you go for observation to a doctor, they have special beds, without just.
We just call it a bed, examination bed.
Okay.
Or table. Yeah.
Okay, examination table or bed and some manipulators with lasers, perhaps some computers, I guess, on the right side. You see the size of these computers.
Yeah.
Must be good. Must be good one. Yep.
Disk drives, big giant magnetic disk drives.
Yeah, but they work. Okay, rebellion. Gerard, please.
Okay. Here, Willis want to save his nephew, his adoptive. There are scavengers that are watching the drugs, so they work and they whip them when they don't do what they are supposed to do. So here, Willis is planning to enter inside the spaceship and find the child.
Mm-hmm. Teacher, how would we call this? I don't know, tape that deliver this.
Okay. A conveyor belt.
Conveyor belt. Okay.
Okay. So just like an airport, it's a moving rubber strip that carries things. So I guess they put stuff on the conveyor belt and it goes up inside the ship.
Yep.
And then below that, there's stairs, so they walk up the steps into the ship.
Yeah. So how would we call this? We call this like raw ore or something, and then you filter it, then you dissolve it from.
Maybe a refinery. Yeah.
Refinery. Okay. Whew. I know nothing about mining process. Hard to describe.
It's hard to say. Yeah.
Okay.
Sergei does.
It's almost the same, I would say. Okay, let's find the good one. Sergey, your favorite moment?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a meeting with Dennis Quaid. It's a very good landscapes and this a good landscape in this movie because during the movie we could see gray landscapes and blue white landscapes if we talk about winter. There are a very good mountain with the green grasses, very good table for drugs, uh, very good order uh,
Hmm. Stage with
stage. Yeah, and we saw the five leaders of drugs, and we saw the Samus and Dennis Quaid. When Dennis Quaid told story about Samus and his father or mother, I don't know.
okay.
And we saw the human sheep, and interesting, we saw one, two, three
Moons.
pieces of moon.
Mhm.
Or maybe it's not moon. Maybe it's a flight from star. I don't know.
Other planets, you mean? Yep.
Yeah.
Mm,
That close, they're probably moons.
yeah, I would say. And let's speak about astrophysics a little bit. So, do you think that it's plausible that all the moons has the same disk? The same, like a white and black part.
And in the same phase makes sense because the sun's in one location and they're all together. Now,
But
if they were on opposite sides of the planet, they would be mirror image.
yep, okay.
So
But
that makes sense. Yeah.
but it's what's strange for me that the sun and the moon the moons in the one direction. We can see them all together.
Yeah. That's unusual, I would say.
There must be another sun, I would say. Yep. To make this picture, picture on the moons. Yep.
Or maybe it was one moon and then it split into three pieces, so they're all going around close together.
No. I mean these things. Okay. No, now it makes sense. We can see that the light side of the moon, it's towards the sun. So
Right. So that makes sense because they're all on the same side of the sun.
Mhm.
yep.
But
Okay.
if they were spread apart on different sides, they would be different.
Okay. So another question, another general question about the movie. Sergey mentioned that the movie is kind of bleak in colors. It's all white, it's all gray, nothing more. So do you think there is a reason for that? Maybe technological reason, for the Hollywood of these times? No.
Mm,
So just the approach to show us something.
yeah, usually bleak, gray, we kind of associate with danger or primitive state.
Hmm.
It's kind of like death. Black and gray are kind of death colors. Desolate. Yeah, I don't know.
I understand. Yep. Sergey, please.
I think that's why we have the bleak landscapes. We lost some fans of this movie because it's a depressive movie for humans. Let's say, it's my opinion. Maybe if we could have more interesting landscape, maybe this movie could be more popular, like a Star Wars. Because I want to see the next movie about the drugs, about the human, about their relationships, next wars, son, and it's interesting idea, but it's
Yeah.
a realizing of idea. It's not good. It's I think the most problem with the landscapes and
Okay.
the
Yeah, I understand. So you found that depressive kind of. Yep. It's kind
yeah.
of okay. I understand. Okay, another general question. We don't have any lady in our class today, so I have to play Diablo Advocate for a moment. So, tell me, why is this movie don't have any female character at all?
This was before women were allowed to fight in the military in the U.S.
Yeah, but actually the question was a provocation. You know, we had some female officer on the base. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty advanced movie. Yep.
We didn't want to introduce sex between aliens.
That would be too
Gracias,
gross.
yeah.
Gross.
Distasteful, yeah.
Yeah. So good that the movie was made in old good times, yeah, Puritan times, without in today nowadays we will see a family from Alien and
Yeah.
Yeah, gay aliens, black and white human couple.
to show us
God.
to show us the power of diversity.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Okay, it's time for a last question. If anyone has. Okay. No questions. Sergey, please.
Yes, I want to tell maybe to teacher Lee, and I remembered about my childhood, and I remembered about Alien Mine, but suddenly I remember about movie from USA, Flight Navigator. Do you know about this movie?
Which
Start.
movie?
Flight Navigator, Flight of Navigator.
Okay, let me Google Flight.
Flight Navigator?
Yeah.
Was it about a small boy?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, science fiction and the same year,
I remember there was a movie about a small boy. He meets an alien ship, an intelligent ship, and they become friends, and the ship at the end calls him Navigator because the kid has become a skilled ship control person. Yeah, it was kind of a cute movie. I don't remember much about it, but it was good.
Okay. So Sergey, you watched it many times, I guess. Yep.
Yeah. because or two movie these two movie cinema shows
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I understand. Okay.
одновременно.
Yeah, at the same time. Let me give a more background for our friends. Sergey was born in a small city and with one cinema. Yep. And they had two movies for a year. So
One Korean movie.
okay, and three movies and one Korean movies as well. Okay.
You laugh, Ivan. When I was a child, there were not many movies. So one movie would come around every year and play again.
No, I'm not laughing at all. We have the same situation. But what I mean that that in winter there are no roads in Russia, so Sergey was forced to watch the same movie during the winter.
Okay, that's possible. Yeah. That happened on my submarine too. We'd go underwater with reel, movies on a reel, and we would have to play the same movies over and over until we got to land and changed movies.
Well, it's not a classified story, so I can say for submarines, I read some book about Russian submarines, and they have a bunch of movies when they go to duty or something. And in Soviet Union, we had many nations like Ukrainians, Russians, Uzbekistans, and so on. And once there was a mess, and they put wrong languages, wrong movies in the two submarines. So the result that people learned Ukrainian after all.
Oh boy.
So next time when you will go trip in your submarine, ask for Spanish movies and you will learn Spanish. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah, we didn't have that problem, so thank heavens.
Okay. So looks like that's all for today. Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Yep. I enjoyed the movie and our class, and see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.